everyone, and welcome to episode number 55 of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, the Guild Wars 2 podcast for fans by fans. On this week's show, I am drunk, and we will be talking about the Cutthroat Politics patch that just came out on Tuesday. So I'm here with the two lovely ladies return, Naveen and Kaysee. So welcome back, ladies. Nice to see you.
Hello. Thank you. Nice to see you. Even if you're not sober.
And while we're calling Lag out, I would like to defend my honor from last week.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I talked to Lag, and apparently I was called a liar on the last show because I said that Naveen wouldn't be able to make it. But after rereading my message on Skype, he realizes that I was telling him and Naveen that I couldn't make it to the show. So my honor is not sullied. I am not a liar. I'm just letting you all know.
About this.
Nice. I feel much better. I feel loved again. Yay.
It doesn't make me to go, if I can't make it, Naveen can't make it either.
Yeah, what was up with that?
That's what I thought. So, I mean, hey, whatever. You know, bitches be crazy, right? All right. So let's just jump right into it. Question of the week from last week: what piece of the new content are you most excited for? So we got that big blog post last week where they went over tons and tons of stuff. So we got two responses. I'm going to read you them both. They're pretty short. One was from Lord Junal, who commented last week and a few times before, said, I liked everything that will soon be coming to Guild Wars 2, but I like the World v. World stuff more because I play World v. World 99% of the time, and it never lost its fun aspect after all this time. And a new map would make things more interesting. My last week answer for you was that I would be voting for Ellen, but I changed my mind due to the fact that this new fractal will be the fall of Abaddon. I'm a lore geek, and I played Guild Wars 1, so it would be awesome to be part of this historical event in Tyria history. Thank you once again for an awesome episode.
You're welcome.
So, yes, you are welcome.
And thank you, Janelle, for your support and constant mail. I'd like a lot of mail. I like mail. Send us mail.
Is it me, or should look like a Mario character?
I am.
Yeah. The second mail we got was from Jexos, and he said, I'm most excited for the new Ascended gear and Legendary, or weapons and gear. I think it's going to help crafters have a decent income for the effort they put into it, which at the moment I think is almost non-existent. Moreover, if you can change the stat combo on the legendary weapons and gear, it will make changing builds a whole lot easier for PvE. The new gear will also level the playing field for those missing out on fractals, since I'm assuming you'll be able to probably apply agony resistance to it. And those that do run it, they'll be able to go even further into the higher levels of it. Just speculation, but it sounds also like the new fractals might be put into some of the higher level fractals. It's a good point. I never thought of it that way, that maybe some of the new fractals will only be accessible at high level. I highly doubt it, because that would be almost like gating content from lower level fractal players. But yeah, so thank you, Jexos and Junal, and now we will, let's see. You know what? I'm going to give it to Junal this week. I like this comment about Dub v Dub, and also he switched to Kiel, or switched from Kiel to Evan, so good for you. But no, I think the idea of a new World v World map could completely alter the way World v World is played, because splitting all your forces between 4 maps is fun, but having a 5th or 6th map, maybe even more, would totally alter the way the game is played, and would split out, you know, the troops that are now consolidated within 4 maps would now be in more, so you need to, you know, pick which commanders go to which map, and it could make for a really interesting gameplay and switch it up a little bit. So, let me pull up the spinner here, and then we will see how much you won.
He's too drunk to do it quickly.
No, I got it. All good. As long as I pick the right region.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oh my god, my face! Everywhere!
There we go.
Goodbye, Kaysee face.
Aww.
Alright, here we go. We're going to hit start. The spinner is spinning. My dog is barking. My wife is not helping out by shutting up the dog.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Stop. I think I clicked it.
2 gold!
Lord Juno, you can be expecting 2 gold in the mail after the show. If for some reason I have missed one of you guys in a previous question of the week because I just forgot to send it to you, please send me an in-game mail and I will send you the gold that you are owed. I'm sorry if I forgot.
What if you send it to them and then they're like, oh, you forgot?
Well, I would like to think that our fans are loyal
honest.
and true, not a bunch of jerks.
Like me?
So,
Okay.
all right. The next thing I had was just a quick piece of mail from Marnik, who sent us a mail, commenting about Naveen's comment about World versus Kite from last week. The one where you had to go find the kite in the Obsidian Sanctum fractal and the woes we had in trying to get in there and failing miserably.
Mm-hmm.
And he has some good points, so I thought it was worth mentioning, but then we'll kind of comment on that a little bit. Concerning the World vs. Kite thing, it doesn't give a title, it's not required for the Crystal Node, it's only 20 achievement points, which is minimal unless you're already high on the leaderboard. There's absolutely no reason to get this kite unless you like the added thrill of ganking during getting it. Some people actually like that, and I'm very happy ArenaNet also gives these people their thrill without hampering people who don't like Obsidian Sanctum. There's absolutely no reason to go there unless you like ganking. Just wanted to say that removing World vs. Kite makes the game worse for some and won't impact you guys. Kind regards, Marnik. So I agree and I disagree. Yes, it is just achievement points. It is not necessary for anything. But if people want those achievement points, they have to go in there. I don't know if removing it from the game makes the game worse, but you know, it is what it is. So you know. Yeah, so thank you, Marnik, for your message. Now we're going to move on to shoutouts. So, Kaysee, how about shoutouts?
Okay, so I'm going to just wait for my internet to break, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't. But my shout out this week is actually to Guildmag. If you watch the show regularly, you probably know that I do the Guildmag podcast as well, and I'm quite friendly with the Guildmag people. I think they're awesome because I used to read the Guildmag magazine a lot before I joined Chronicles of Tyria, and it was a 50-50 chance whether I would apply for Chronicles of Tyria or Guildmag. So I ended up on both of them. Yay! But basically, my shout out to them is because they have finally, after I don't know how long, but it was way too long, they have finally gotten a new Guildmag out. Guildmag issue number 9, July A New Dawn. And if you haven't heard of them before, it is actually, they do online magazines, and the new issue is kind of following in their online magazine format. So I'll put a link in the chat and in the description so you can check out the magazine because they have some really cool articles. One of my favorite ones is it's an article about Mordramoth, the jungle dragon. And like we've all heard the lore before about, like if you're really into lore, we've all heard the lore about Mordramoth, especially if you listen to our lore podcast. But in this one, it kind of takes the look at the elder dragon from the perspective of I think it's either a vigil member or a priory member, and so it's kind of really interesting how it computes in the in-game logic and how they've written it. So yeah, that's very interesting. They also have a law interview with Jeff Grubb, Bruce Osby and Scott McGuff. Yes, so that is my shout out for this week. Good on you, Guildmag. I'm so glad you finally got your episode out. Not your episode, your issue.
Yeah, magazine.
Mm-hmm. Naveen, how about you?
I don't have any shout-outs, but I do have one thing to say. Sorry. Because, one thing, you guys, if you've been listening to the other podcasts, you know that I'm on vacation. And I was like, yes! vacation means more Guild Wars 2 time. Turns out that it's not more Guild Wars 2 time, but it's more like, oh, I'm always outside with my kid and family visiting me and stuff. And so I haven't played Guild Wars in like a while, and I kind of forgot about the lore shows. So I'd like to say sorry, and we'll update you guys about the COT Lorecast and the COT Lore Bites. What's going to happen to them. They're still going to be there, but we might have a few shows missing for summer vacation. Still haven't decided. We'll see. But there's a big chance that I won't be able to make it. If there will be there, I won't be there. So, sorry. But I do love you. So.
We will be... I'm sorry, my dog is barking.
That's fine.
Yeah, of course, as I say that, he stops barking. Nope, there he goes again. I blame my wife entirely for not taking care of things.
Oh, come on now.
So I would like to say that we respect Naveen's choice of a vacation. And we may be looking to do guest lore bites in the future, where people that aren't just the three of us do a lore bite, and we do nothing regular, nothing constant, just maybe like somebody says, "Oh, I saw this," you know, we're gonna talks with some people, and they might say, "Oh, I saw this, and I'd like to do a lore bite on it." Oh, they do that, and then we just throw that in the mix, and then then we keep on going with our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll even, if Naveen wants to take a break, maybe me and Kaysee and somebody else will do a lore show just to switch it up. So you guys don't miss us for too much.
Maybe.
Because I know you go so long without hearing our voice talking about lore, and it's heartbreaking.
It's like, when are you guys going to do lore? And I'm like, yeah! Power of Christ compels you.
We'll
it's actually
work
like a
on
sickness. People go crazy for the sound of our voices.
Yeah, we're working on it. Ideally we'll have an answer by next week. With what the schedule is going to be. I mean, the timing of the release is Joel will be back from vacation coming up, so Drawing with Joel will come back as well. We're working it out, figuring out scheduling and other people to come help us out. So, we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I had a shout out actually to one of our old members who's kind of been busy playing other games and inactive, but his name in our guild was Zan, and he actually started his own MMO blog called MMO Geek Speak.
Zan started that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. See, that's what happens when you go on vacation. It's like, you don't even check Facebook anymore. I have Zan on my Facebook feed, and I didn't see that link.
So I just posted a link in the chat. I'll post a link in the description. Him and I were talking about it today. He's actually looking for other people to come on to his blog, like this blog that he's developed to write about MMOs and other video games and things like that.
Interesting.
And I also have the his email that he'll be accepting people. Jesus, dog, sending emails to.
We don't hear it. It's fine.
Oh, you guys don't?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
No.
great then. Good.
I can pretend that we hear it.
No.
Damn your dogs! Jesus Christ.
But I will post a link to his email in the description as well, so you guys can get a hold of him. He is still not really sure what he's looking for, but would like basically like columnists to write on his blog.
Interesting.
So check out the blog. We'll post the link. If you like what you see, hit him up, and maybe you guys can get a hold of him. He's not sure what he wants to do yet. He's trying to figure out a process of where he wants to take this blog in the future. So maybe you guys can help him out. So hit him up. So that was my shout out for the week.
Yay!
So, let's see. Again, sorry it's a little late on this. If you're listening to us on iTunes and you'd like to watch us live, it's every Thursday night at 9 p.m. at twitch.tv/ChroniclesOteria. Feel free to come out and watch us live and get to see our beautiful faces.
Our beautiful faces. Oh, I have another shout out.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. I want to shout out to all the haters out there who are trolling the music videos I made and songs. Here's
Okay.
a newsflash. I don't give a shit. Like, it's funny to me that I write, okay, I'm not a professional singer, I just do that because I like it. And people are like, your voice is so off. Like, you're terrible. That sucks. I'm like,
Ah.
okay.
Naveen
Whatever.
is Yoda. Your voice.
Sucks that song is. But yeah,
Now
I'm
I
like,
just have an image of
don't-
Yoda trolling your videos, like going to the next one, like his little hands touching it. Maybe he can't reach the escape key, so he uses his stick.
yeah. Shtuk. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why would people, say those horrible things anyways to start with. It's like, I'm a person, I have a heart, I have feelings, I'm Canadian, don't hate on me.
Oh, I love your songs. I love them to death. They bring me such a smile. Whenever I feel down, I go and listen to Naveen songs, and it's like, all is right with the world.
I'd like to point out Brahms in the chat, who you may have seen on our show last time, said, I'm sure they're all professional singers, Naveen. You should probably take their criticisms to heart. You've upset the entire professional singing populace.
I'm
Oh.
sorry. No, I'm not. Like I said, I don't give a damn.
So, actually, you know what? I'm switch it up. I'm gonna start this off with a question of the week. That means it.
And Navri.
That means
Oh, I'm
jingle.
sorry. Navri in the chat room says trolling a Canadian is like kicking a puppy. Not cool, man. Question of the week. You want to do question of the week right now?
Right now.
Oh, okay. Here's your question of the week. There you go.
Can I just point out that we don't hear the music, all we see in silence is Naveen doing those movements.
Yeah.
In complete silence.
Well, at least you know that the song is done. Anyway.
Yeah, we have hand signal. So this stems from a conversation that I've had with several people about a very popular Guild Wars 2 group, and Facebook group, and Tumblr and Twitter. I'm going to post the link in the description and in the chat. It's the Sailor Moon cosplay group within Guild Wars. Shout out to them because Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune just joined their group as of today.
No.
Yeah, check it out. It's pretty great. They look spot on.
Oh
So-
my goodness, Sailor Jupiter, you rock! You are my favorite. I love you.
There's some pretty good pictures that they took, pretty epic screenshots. Take a look through. You'll have you'll be surprised at how awesome some of the images are.
Oh
But-
my goodness.
This was a conversation I had with one of our other guildies of how cool that would be to do something like that. And his response was, we should just make Sailor Moon characters. And I said, dude, we can't make Sailor Moon characters. You'd just be ripping off somebody else who ripped off some other pop culture show. That's not cool, dude. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We need to come up with our own. So I said, we have these listeners. And what is no hard feelings if every once in a while we exploit them for our own use. So, to the listeners and fans of the podcast, what do you think would be a good idea for a group, cosplay within Guild Wars that's feasible to do and would look good with the armor and the dye schemes that we have? Can you think of anything that would be good for several groups of people? It doesn't have to be the same race, could be mixed up races, things like that. I would just like to see what you guys have to say. Or, alternatively, if you guys have a character with a name or a theme based on a character from another piece of pop culture of some kind, send us screenshots of that, and the best one that is sent in will win gold on top of the person who has the answers. That's 2 chances to win next week. So take a look at that. Stuff that like a group could do, or like I said, if you've got a really cool picture of one of your characters. I've seen a cool Link that somebody made. I saw really crappy Power Rangers that somebody made. Thundercats out of Char, and you can't do it. It's difficult. But, send us what you guys think, and be sure to tune in next week to see who wins.
Just saying, if anyone cosplays Grumpy Cat as a Char, that'd be awesome.
Oh my
I
gosh.
do it.
Yes.
That'd be fantastic.
I'd like to point out that Memory Burn, who you also may recognize from last week's podcast, just pointed out in the map chat, let's just be Sailor Moon, because he's the one that keeps fighting me on just making look-alike Sailor Moon characters. So that was that. That's the question of the week. Tune in next week to see who wins. Again, just another public service announcement. Help ArenaNet get to 1,000 likes. We're running out of time here, guys. Next Wednesday is the end of the month. They're only at 942,000 likes. They need 60,000 more likes in the next 6 days for us to get all that free crap in game.
Such a heavy, sorrowful sigh.
Yeah. 1 million likes. For those on iTunes, Kaysee and I just did the Dr. Evil pinky finger. Dun, dun, dun.
Sean?
Yeah.
Can you see if he's outside? 'Cause if he's outside, then I don't blame him barking. But if he's inside, then he's just being...
I call animal abuse.
That is outside. Dogs have lived outside for millions
How
of
can
years.
you let a dog outside?
Well, and
Especially if he keeps
barking
barking.
and disturbing the neighbors.
He's probably like, hey, neighbors, you've got a squirrel on a tree. Neighbors, just want to tell you, you've got a squirrel on a tree. And then your other dog's like, I see a squirrel too.
I love that.
So, next up, random act of kindness. I actually have one for this week. Again, as a reminder, for the random act of kindness segment here on the show, we're looking for people that are doing something out of the goodness of their heart to help other Guild Wars players. And we want to highlight the positives in this community, as we know there's a lot of trolls and a lot of negatives. So we'd like to take some time to highlight the positives. So this goes out to Siegfried ZR of Plains of Ashford earlier today. He was just running around saying, hey, you guys, come to this waypoint. There's an event going on. The event happened, and he said, if you guys want to keep doing more events, follow me. I'm going to the next one. And he just took us from event to event to event with like surgical precision to the timing. All throughout Plains of Ashford. And it was just really nice to have somebody who wasn't a commander, wasn't demanding. It was like, if you want to go, I'm going, so feel free to follow. And it was just nice to see somebody running around and helping out. Nobody asked for events. He was just doing it to do it. So thank you, sir. More people like you would make this game a better place. All right. I think we all know what time it is.
Is it data mining time?
Yes, it is, Naveen. Some very interesting things came out of the data mines earlier this week with the patch. So, new mini-pet series coming out. Series 2 minis will be coming out with 3 randomly selected mini-pets in a mini-pack you can buy from the gem store. Will be coming out later this year at some point. You can let them in, that's fine. You only let Buffy in? You're not going to let Xander in? Xander, open the door. Come
Well,
on.
people on iTunes, his dog has just come into the room. Apparently, he's quite happy not to be outside anymore.
It's for... Never mind. It's a segment. It's all good. You're wearing a Pikachu hat. Don't judge me. Alright, so next up on there is this thing that's called the Royal Terrace, and it says, Special Access Pass. Gain entry to the Royal Terrace in Divinity's Reach, Asura's Gate to all cities, crafting stations, bank and guild bank access, Mystic Forge, merchants, and more, all within easy reach. And people were kind of wondering, what is this Royal Terrace? Well, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, and I don't know if you guys have been to Divinity's Reach lately.
No, but I've seen the picture.
Yes, there's a giant tent over the top of the over what used to be the Great Collapse, and there are royal architects there are gossiping citizens there talking all about rebuilding things, and it's basically been confirmed by one of the devs that it's going to be the royal actually Here, I have some quotes from Anthony Orden who's commenting on it, because people are like, oh my god, Canton District, oh my god.
Kentucky District.
But it's not, folks. I'm going to break it to you now. It's not the Canton District, and it never was the Canton District, and it will never be the Canton District.
Wah.
So Anthony Orden says, so I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you guys that according to game lore, there was never a Canton District. If you've done your research, you'll know that what was the Great Collapse was formerly an art district. Just a final quick note, I'm certainly not denying that at one point a Canton District was planned and partially implemented, but the actual lore of the district that shipped with the game does not support it very well right now. I think it's great that you guys are fans of Cantha, and I would personally like to see it in the game as well, but what you'll be finding under that tent very soon is not Canton. I'm just making assumptions here, but if we did return to Cantha, I suspect it would be a really big deal. Way too big to fit under the tent, even the largest of tents, or even in an existing
city. Dragon tent!
So, what else does he say? He said...
tent come from?
Well, they're talking about a big event, too big to fit a tent.
No, he said that Cantha would be too big to fit under a tent.
Oh, I misunderstood.
So, also commented at some point, and I think the Gossiping Citizens comment on it as well, as they're rebuilding the Royal Symphony, Symphony Hall or something, and it kind of has that kind of conical-y shape, has semicircle shape.
They don't say they're rebuilding it. They'll say it's a pity I'll never see the Great Symphony Hall again. But I don't know if they're new or if they were always there. Because if he's saying that the Cantha District didn't exist, then it would probably...
If you look, you can find images from back in early game development of the Canton District where they had actually drawn out and animated the actual Canton architecture, and it looks beautiful. But this came from that backlash of mixing Chinese and Korean architecture together. That they got a backlash. NCSoft had backlash to ArenaNet that mixing those two cultures was a no-no. So they took that out. And then it was going to be the art district, and then they removed it entirely. So, yes, something about the Great Symphony Hall, and it looks kind of like when you think of like a symphony, like amphitheater, when you go and like see those typical in any kind of TV show or something where it's kind of that half a dome where everybody sits around it. That's kind of what the tent looks like. So it's highly possible that it could be that. And the also mined out of the data regarding all of this stuff was the 2-letter code that was tied to this patch, which is QJ. Naveen's there petting her. Kaysee is petting her new kitty. Watching the iTunes, and her mic is muted, so we can't hear her anyway. And Naveen was petting her Ritlock statue.
Sorry, I was listening to you. It's just
no, I know you. Casey's muted, so.
I'm trying to help him with his feeding. I thought I was off camera. I thought I would be fine while he was on the... get off my mic.
Oh no! Oh, he took off the thingy-majiggy on your mic. He's gonna eat it! Kaysee! Look at his paws! Look, he's got it! He's destroying!
So anyway, sorry iTunes.
Yeah, sorry.
But yes, it looks kind of like an amphitheater. The 2-letter code tied to this, which all of the previous patches have had a 2-letter code tied to them. For instance, Cutthroat Politics was CP, was the code when they mined the information from it. It came up as patch note called CP. This one is coming up as QJ. There's a ton of speculation threads on both Reddit and on the official forums of what QJ actually means. People are saying, I don't know, Quaggan Jelly. People are saying Ari Jade. More realistically, possibly Queen Jenna, because it's in Divinity's Reach, or something to do with her. He does make a point to say that we'll be finding out very soon. And to that token, I'd like to point out that if you go to the releases page of Guild Wars 2, They kind of have the coming soon. Check back next week for more details. And it shows some flags and kind of an amphitheater background. So, if you go and check out the releases page on the official Guild Wars 2 website, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
I really enjoyed the updates every 2 weeks stuff, but during the summer holidays, it's really hard to get into it. It's like you get on the game and you've missed so much. It's crazy. Ugh. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just feel, oh my gosh.
No, it makes sense.
I want to participate and do everything, but I want to enjoy the sun, too.
I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they, somebody mentioned the data mine information to Anthony Orden, the guy who was commenting about. There's a lot of back and forth about how you can find hints that say that there was a Canthan district, and he basically comes out and says that I'm not saying that there never was a Canthan district ever, but there was never one in the game that we would be able to play. But people said, well, what about this Royal Terrace that we data mined? This information, and he said the Royal Terrace will be a thing, but it's not the thing you think it is. I love these comments from the devs because they're ridiculous. And my favorite comment, which was from Nasea on the chat, was, I think this is Schrodinger's tent. And I thought that was the best definition of what this tent is. Which is, it's really great before you open it, but if you open it, it could be worse. I mean, if anybody's familiar with Schrodinger's cat, it'll be, go look. If you're not familiar with Schrodinger's cat, go look up when The Big Bang Theory explains Schrodinger's cat. It's the best way I feel to do it. So, check that out. So back to the rest of the stuff we got from data mining. Salvage without a fuss, unlimited salvaging. This basic salvage tool can break down items an unlimited number of times, but costs a small fee. It does not recover upgrades or upgrades from weapons or armor. Limited time consumable, a 2-week banker golem you could purchase. There's the brand new weapon sets, which it says brand new weapon sets and armor skins. Jexos here in the chat room linked the armor skins on Dolphy's webpage, and we will actually link that in our description as well. There's a set of new heavy, medium, and light armor. If you would like to view it for yourself, you can go into the PvP locker in the game and view all three. I like all of them. I have my problems with the fact, and kind of tease into what we talked about after the credits last show, that the male human, male Norn, male Sylvari, male and female Asura, and male and female Char all have the same armor set. Looks exactly the same, just scaled to size. And then female human, female Norn, female Sylvari have a different weapon set. And honestly, the Phoenix armor looks even better on them. But it seems like they kind of took the cheap way out and only made 2 sets of armor and just spread that across everybody.
But, they've talked about how labor-intensive doing armor is and doing the different races. So I think it's kind of like, for them, in their mind, a compromise, because people have been saying for so long that they want new armors, give us armors, they're sick of weapon sets, give us armors. And finally they've given us some, and I think to them it's a compromise to them. We won't spend as much money to give everyone a particular one. It is frustrating because each race is meant to have their own individuality, and then all of a sudden you just chuck the same armors at them. It kind of takes it away.
Yeah, we don't have too much more information other than it says use this ticket to select a special helmet skin. New weapon skins available. Contains a single-use armor skin for heavy helm, coat, legs, boots, shoulders, and gloves. So people are thinking maybe it's a gem store. People are thinking maybe it has to do with Black Lion keys. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Here was a huge one that some of you fans from the beta may remember. Treasure hunting looks like it was mined out of the game and maybe making a comeback. Double-click this item to put an X on your map, then dig at the location to create a treasure event for all nearby players. Find buried treasure. Use one of these maps. Marks a hidden treasure location on your map. Treasures may be guarded by hostile enemies. You guys remember this?
Yeah, they were talking about this before release. They were like, oh, we're going to have treasure, and I totally forgot about it.
I didn't hear about it.
You did. We had a conversation about it.
Yeah, we probably did, but
This was like last July.
I'm old.
A
Okay,
year
I
ago.
forget stuff.
Oh no.
I don't know. I no, honestly, I don't remember, but that sounds great.
Yeah, it was basically you would find a treasure map, and it would put an X marks the spot on your map, and you would go find it and then dig up the treasure. Because I remember looking for those treasure maps in beta weekend number 3, and they just didn't put them in the game at all. But it's nice to see something like that that was supposed to be implemented, that was a really cool feature, is actually going to make a comeback. Presumably. I mean, it's data mined, so it may not, but it was only data mined from the most recent patch, the probability of it happening, and tying into all the crazy new stuff they're planning on doing with last week's blog post sounds about right to me. There's just one thing that says guild message of the day for blank, colon blank. Maybe they're going to update that. I don't know. They're going to add the dishonorable feature to PvP. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was a thing that they implemented in Guild Wars 1, where if you repeatedly abandon your team during any ranked PvP matches, you'll get stacked with dishonorable, so you won't be able to participate in any other ranked PvP matches until that expires.
That's a great idea.
And you get a message that'll pop up that says you cannot join the match because you have been dishonorable. And that was a thing they had in Guild Wars 1. I think in Guild Wars 1 it was limited to reporting. You can report people and it would do that. But this kind of has the same functionality.
Like, you want to adjust your mic? It seems to be rattling against something, and it's... See if that
Your
works better.
mic is rattling against something.
Your mom's rattling against something. Oh!
Would you like some healing for that bird? Oh! Playing way too much Pokemon because I was about to say Burn Heal.
I was gonna say Burn Heal.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
I was like, what?
Which one are you playing?
I'm replaying Heart Gold.
Oh, you should give me your friend code, and then I'll hop on my Soul Silver, and we'll play together. Me and you and Brahms.
The third wheel is leaving now.
Get your jetpack out. Nothing to see here. Alright, here's a pretty big one. Game optimization, character quality, character limit detail of particle effects. So these are all things that they're going to add, potentially sliders like they did last week. You have the ability to limit the particle effects to not totally break your game when 1 million people are casting Meteor Shower.
That never happened to me. My Mac is pretty powerful. Oh!
That's because you're the one casting Meteor Shower.
You're screwing up everybody else's game.
Naveen's like, meteor showers are everywhere.
If only I could have the echo skill from Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, I know, right? That'd be nice. There's more talk about updating Look for Group tool. Again, the same thing was also put in regarding the SPVP finishers and World v World finishers. The permanent finishers made a comeback in this patch, so more likely that will happen. New ranks are going to be added to World versus World: Platinum Invader, Mithril Invader, Diamond Invader. And then it says, just a quick note, the bank slot expansion and exclusive hairstyle strings have been upped a notch as well. I don't know what that means. That's a data mining term that I'm not familiar with. But yeah, so
The notch.
data mined for you for this week.
Thank you.
So
You have some sort of picture like you've been data mined.
Oh!
we'll have to work on that. We're working on sets and sound clips and stuff. So, alright, just gonna move on. Bear with me, guys. I don't want to bias, I mean I do, but I don't, bias people towards Evan Nashblade. I've made my points, but I do have a couple of things that, on a more serious note, people that made comments on the forums that were trying to say things that I wanted to say more eloquently than I could say it, and a couple of developers in points from ArenaNet on where they stand on Evan Nashblade. I just wanted to read these. This is something that I've said many a time, about how Ellen Kiel is the third coming of Cormier. Hey!
Thank you, dog. Thank you.
Ellen Kiel is the
See?
third coming of Cormier.
Oh, I'm not gonna
Okay.
get
Cormier, we all have seen the video. You know.
I am now a god. Your god. I deserve this.
Hey, wait. Cormier's... No, Cormier was cool. Eh.
She didn't do anything, and she took all the credit.
She didn't do anything. She was blinded by the light.
Except
I think she had her eyes eaten, actually.
Oh, that's what happened. Of course I know my lore.
No.
we had
That's a nice eye.
then we had Traherne taking all of the credit for everything we do, and now lovely Inspector Kiel, Captain Lions Guard, Captain Kiel here takes all the credit for everything we did in South Sun. But anyway, this person says Kiel pretty much made us do all the work in South Sun, then swooped in and took the credit. She made us sidekicks, just like Traherne did. I don't like Traherne, I don't like Kiel. She makes a decent Lion Guard captain. Let her stay that way. Kiel is Little Miss Perfect, not interesting whatsoever. Evan takes care of business. He's the owner of the successful Black Lion Trading Company, and he never fails to bring you great items. He won't make you sidekick.
I just want to say, I didn't plan that blowing up of the ship and killing everyone's contracts. Kiel did that on her own. She solved the problem. I didn't know how the problem was going to be solved, but Kiel solved the problem.
And you did all the work up till then. Where was she? What did? Oh, let me wait at the beginning.
No.
Oh, you go fight
No.
Canuck.
Political debates? Not
Okay,
tonight.
yeah, okay. Say your next one, like.
Continue reading.
Nashblade knows, and this is one of my new points that I want to point out. Nashblade knows the ins and outs of business, and therefore will easily make a deal with the Zephyr Sanctum, getting more items for the people of Tyria. Because if you remember, which a lot of people kind of forget, that's what this whole thing is about. Who can secure a trade contract with the Zephyrites and get the Zephyr Sanctum to trade with the people of Lion's Arch? I'll admit, Ellen Kiel, a great captain of the Lions Guard. The only one I've ever known, to be honest with you. So she's the best.
Automatically.
So let her be a Lions Guard captain. Let her be the captain of the Lions Guard. Evan Nashblade, whether you like RNG or not, he is a ruthless political, economic figurehead and knows how to do business and get the most for his money. He's going to get us the best deal with the Zephyrites.
Maybe you should read the things and save your views for when we have like that political thing closer to the thing, and we can fight it out then.
I just want to point out, Jexos in the chat room says, Lag's message paid for by Evan Nashblade. You're a sellout!
Let's see. Evan is a very interesting character. His influence in the Captain's Council will make great stories, forever changing the history of Tyria. And people say he will only do things to benefit himself. That's the point. They're all dirty pirates. His motivation is money. Think of all the interesting stuff that could happen. I don't know about the rest of you, but I know for a fact that Evan Nashblade is the coolest cat in the club. #Team Nash.
I thought you were a dog person. Oh.
I am. This is from Shepherd X on the official forums.
Shepherd's pie.
Then we have a comment from Isaiah Cartwright, the lead game designer from ArenaNet. Evan, clearly the only viable candidate. I hear Kiel is responsible for all nerfs. I mean, she's a great sword-wielding warrior. Need I say more? While Evan is responsible for all buffs in the game, I mean, more buffs equals more farming equals more trading post taxes. The choice is clear. Evan. And then somebody, Draxinic, says, funny, when I saw Kiel fight, I'm pretty sure she was using Guardian Greatsword skills, not Warrior. And then Isaiah Cartwright comments back on that, that's just diversion to hide the truth. She can't be trusted. Vote Evan.
We were actually having a discussion about this sort of thing. Someone brought it up in the in the chat in Twitch TV, but we were having a discussion how it really seems like a lot of developers on the side of Evan, and unfortunately it seems like they seem to be favoring, in terms of like benefits and all that sort of thing, they seem to be favoring Evan a lot, you know, by giving him the buzzword Abaddon and having a lot of developers supporting him, and then also the just little things. He has the best game in the new content and stuff like that, while Kiel has this boring one. And we were talking about that, and it was like, it really seems like they're trying to support him opposed to having them equal. And then I'm not saying this because like I'm a Kiel fan and it's not fair, you know, because I either way I'm having fun. That's all that really matters to me. But we were just saying that I wonder if they want something like Evan to win or something like that, and I wish that they would make it a little bit more fair in the terms of giving Kiel something that's a real selling point, because waypoints is the only like actual content selling point that she has. Lore-wise she has a lot of selling points, but content-wise she only has the waypoints, and I thought it would be a lot more fun if we could have it really even, so that there was, you know, at the moment I'm not quite sure who's going to win, but I really hope it's Kiel, but you know, I don't feel like it's very an even playing field in sense of content-wise.
Another point, I don't have anything written on this because I forgot to grab it, was about how they had a lot of interesting plans, ArenaNet, for the Thaumanova reactor already written, which to a lot of us inferring this means they've already done a lot of research and they have a lot of content that they're interested in the Thaumanova reactor. So even if Kiel loses, there's a high probability that they're not just going to throw away that content that they made. What it really sounds to me, and this is my completely interpretation, is they have a plan for the Thaumanova reactor and all that's going to happen. But they needed something. They gave that to Kiel because they knew they had that, and the waypoints also good. And then they needed something to even Evan out, because we didn't have anything in the beginning. Remember, it was waypoints versus keys, and everybody's going waypoints. But I feel like they're like, oh, let's do the fall of Abaddon, and I feel that from the way I'm reading and all the developers talking about it, that some people came up with that idea, but they had more plans for the Thaumanova reactor, and like Abaddon was kind of an afterthought, like, oh, and Abaddon for him. And then when that came up, the developers that were like, what? Abaddon is an fuck, Evan, go for Evan. And then, like, that's why I feel like there's a clear split in ArenaNet, where the developers who are working on the Thaumanova reactor are like, come on, guys, we've got this. And then someone's like, well, we'll just try to even Abaddon. And then everybody's like, all right, let's go for him. And that's kind of what happened.
And unfortunately, a lot of people have no idea what the reactor is. Even though they go there for the fire elemental, it doesn't click what it is. And I was saying to Lag, you know, there's a lot of possibility where they could go with it. There's a lot of, I mean, that place is a mess. It sucks things out of time. It puts things in. You know, you could go anywhere. You could go back in time to Guild Wars 1 time and revisit old characters, or you know, you could go even further back to Gigantica's loop, because like there's no end to what you can do in that area, because it's just, time is just distorted and a mess and everything. So, you know, why they say we could investigate what's going on there, it could really mean let's go there and go and have some time traveling adventures, that sort of thing.
The other part of it is, and not to kind of be frank about it, but you're right. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of potential for the Thaumanova reactor, which is also why I feel like they've written stuff, and that's like their other fractal of the mist, if you will, to way to pull in anything from any time. But what caused the reactor to explode, the stupid Inquest explosion, me personally, I don't care. I really don't care. But I do care about watching 5 gods smack Abaddon down. I mean, what if I go there and then fight Abaddon and I type /dance and then he serves me like he did in Guild Wars 1? It pops up that you got served and everybody dies.
That'd be
just
cool.
Like in Guild Wars 1.
I think there's a trap though, because it's like we know what we'll get if we vote for Nashblade, but Kiel, like Kaysee was saying, we don't know what's gonna happen. Like maybe it's something super epic. Maybe the reason why it exploded is something super epic and it has to deal with the gods, maybe? So who knows?
It could be the fact that they're researching into the gods or researching into dragons. You have no idea.
I feel it's definitely research into dragons, and that's why they won't get rid of it. Because there's too many plot points for future dragons to get rid of that content. Which is why we'll see it in one way or another. Maybe if Evan wins for Abaddon, then he'll decide that, you know, he's going to make up some whole scandal about how that was his idea in the first place and Kiel took it. And we'll still get it anyway. You know what I mean? Like that, it's a possibility that will happen. But for me, I want to see... Wooden Potatoes put out a video on voting for Evan Nashblade and the thoughts on it. And I feel he summed it up best. There's a lot of... I would love, and I still stand by, I want Evan to win. I want to see the fall of Abaddon. But there's a mystique about the human gods that we've never seen them. We don't know what it's like. And if, say, we were get to play as the 5 human gods, like we get to play as Char in the Ascalon fractal, and we get killed during it's a fractal. You're going to die. They're difficult. The human gods shouldn't get killed. Like, they're badasses. They're aliens from another planet with crazy powers. Like, they shouldn't get defeated. But I would like to see... What's up?
As much as the humans call them gods, they're pretty much just people. Like, they are entities from another place.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. Ancient astronaut theorists theorize that the human gods came from another... You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. Aliens. We don't know. But like, I would be interested to see, is Doom there? Is Doom one of the gods that helped cast down Abaddon, or was it Grenth? We don't know. You know, it could be that. There's lore about Abaddon defeating one of the human gods before he was cast down. Did he defeat Doom? Did he kill Lyssa, and that's why Lyssa's a 2-part being for the Elonians, and a 1 single part being for everybody else? I don't know.
Jesus, I was just thinking it's like soap opera with these gods. Like
that's why Thomas Engine, my personal god that I created myself, has no drama. He's a self-sacrificing badass, and everybody
stoic
can think.
is the word.
Stoic would be a better, more eloquent word. But, yeah.
Oh.
So, my last little bit from somebody else, Azarai, says, is it a coincidence that Kiel is running for the seat of the Captain's Council she let be assassinated? Either she's incompetent or evil. Nashblade is a cunning businessman that can talk real politics through the Captain's Council. He's by far the superior candidate. That's my piece on
man. I just to even the playing field, I'm not going to go into politics, I'm going to go into how much I love Kiel. I think Kiel is so awesome. The other day when I did the candidate trials, and you go in with her and she's like, we're going to protect this treasure so we can give it back to the original owners. I'm like, oh, Kiel, come here, my love. I honestly, if I could marry any NPC, it would definitely be Kiel. She is just so cool, man. So cool.
Wow.
I know.
I'm suddenly jealous. I don't know why.
So don't worry, baby.
Going after Logan back, right?
Yeah, know where it's at. I'm not an NPC. For shiz. Whatever.
Angel Duena here in the chat says, I would marry Evan, all the money.
Okay.
He's a gold digger.
Yeah.
But,
I would marry Evan, take half his money, or kill him. God, that sounded really evil.
Moving on.
He is a Char, and you're a tiny little mouse. So he might sugar kitty. But anyway, let's talk to Patch in all seriousness, which is the main content part of the show here. So, how do you guys feel? I mean, Naveen, have you even played it?
I played 5 minutes before we logged on for the podcast.
All right, well, Kaysee, you have played.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I really, and I've talked to a couple of people, I'm not really that, like, it's cool in the vote, and I'm a hardcore Nashblade fan, but I'm really not that into this patch. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff, but
Maybe you're getting the pressure of the 2 weeks updates. It's starting to get on everyone. Like everyone's like, another update. I still have to get myself used to something new. Maybe. You don't know.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I'm pretty okay with it. I have to admit, I don't like some of the things, but I can't be expected to like everything. Like, Jex Oss in the chat was saying he really liked the Aspect Arena. I went in it and I was just like, oh my god, this is like PvP. Like, I just don't enjoy that sort of thing at all. Like, I just hated it. But then the South Sun Survival was a wonderful addition.
Oh, I didn't try that. The PvP thing, though, I did. And I was like, what am I doing? And then I switched something else because I was like, getting killed every time, and I'm like, I don't want to play PvP.
Yeah. But I think in the sense of, it wasn't a massive update, like there's a lot of new content, but you can't be expected to play everything. I actually do enjoy it. I really like how they're incorporating it into normal things, like, you know, go and do, that you get these kill buttons for Naveen. If you vote, you get these buttons, and then, like, you have to, it's basically representing the person you voted for, and they're like, go and do a dungeon while representing, and that sort of thing, so it kind of incorporates it into the normal
what
game.
You get them. That's true. After the game, maybe. After the podcast. Oh, no, I have other things.
And I, you know, Love Good here in the chat says, I feel that this patch was more hype than substance. And I kind of agree with that. And I guess maybe it's me, but part of the way I judge how, I mean, on top of the content, which this was kind of, there was too many games, and I'll admit, South Sun Survival is awesome. And Aspect Arena is fun in its own way, but it doesn't compare in any way. But I feel like I judge a lot on a patch on how much fun I'm going to have getting the patch achievements. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little thing. Just a really minute thing. But, like, these achievements are just a pain in the ass to get in 2 weeks. Representing Nashblade to get all of those things. And then switching and representing Kiel to get all those. You have to do 3 dailies for each person. So that's 6 days. I mean, PvP dailies count. Public service announcements. You can do you could do PvP and a regular daily, and that's 2 for one person. But it's just kind of a pain. Like, it's drawn out, and I would feel like getting these achievements would be grinding for these achievements rather than just getting them for fun.
Right.
Whereas, like, the Halloween achievements, the Christmas achievements, even all the Flame and Frost ones, those were fun and new and interesting.
Yep.
There's no new zone, there's no new real content, it's just new stuff in the same places we've been. And it's not even changing it up. Like, Zephyr Sanctum kind of lost its luster to me because it's been around for 2 weeks. And we're back there for another 2 weeks. So, you know, I don't know.
We've got some good things in the chat. Anavari says, I feel like this patch is a filler episode in an anime.
Yeah, pretty much.
200 episodes of Naruto filler comes out. But yeah, no, he's right.
Yeah, I agree that it's a little bit like that. I must admit, I've never been an achievement person. When I go into games, I never go in looking for achievements. But Guild Wars 2 is very much geared towards achievements, and and now that you say it, I realize when I came into this patch, I had no idea where to start. So I opened up my achievement panel, and I looked at the achievements, and that's where I started. And that sort of thing. And I didn't quite grasp them as quickly as I do the other ones. But I wonder if that's the direction that they want to go, is just to get people to do activities. They do the achievements and that sort of thing. Or should they be doing things just for the fun of it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to talk, and I don't want to bash the game, because I obviously love Guild Wars, and there was some good things.
We wouldn't be doing that. Yeah, if people don't understand yet that we do love Guild Wars, but we like discussing multiple sides of it, like, there's a problem.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's the South Sun Survival, best take on the Hunger Games yet from any Guild Wars thing. Phenomenal. Excellent game. Maybe some tweaks to the down state when you die, like that you know, maybe just a little bit. But for the most part, awesome game. Aspect Arena, fun, but I feel like it's missing something. I didn't really enjoy it. that much.
No,
Me
I
personally.
did. Did.
Yeah, the trials they're difficult, which is good. It's difficult PvE dungeon-esque content, which I like.
So boring.
It is. It's boring as hell.
It's
Because
like
it's the same thing. It's for those of you that have ever played any kind of game that has a horde mode, like Gears of War or something like that. It's like that, except the enemy types don't change. It's the same 4 waves in a row for 4 times. It's the same thing.
And like the plunderers move quite fast, which is frustrating. But I guess that's part of the difficulty. But it's just like we did it as a group when the patch first came out, and the entire time we talked. And like we got up to level 3, we couldn't do level 4, but we got up to level 3, and we just talked through it. And I wasn't even paying attention half the time, and it was just so boring. Like I don't know even if I want to go for number 4.
Yeah, it's it's an achievement, and the completionist in me wants that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I won't be able to get the achievement for the kite because for this world, I still have to do it. But I did this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Those achievements are still up. Maybe next time you're on, I'll go and do it with my meds man. I'll portal you up.
No, maybe. Hopefully, there's gonna be nicer people. But I did the horde thing that you were talking about. I can't even remember the proper name. Yeah.
Candidate trials. Oh no, candidate trials.
Yeah. I only did the part where you have to. Well, for Kiel, of course. And I did it up by myself, and I couldn't even finish it because there was too many of them, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? But
it's hard. I did the first wave as an Ellie, and I'm pretty squishy in some senses. I've got low condition removal, but I'm squishy, and I only barely made it through the first one. So I think if we had a guard in the end, it would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, save me! Okay.
What else came out with this patch? So I mean, there was new items in the gem store. One of the things I do think was a good quality of life thing that they added was the slider for the volume of the instruments that people are playing.
Oh,
so you can turn off people's instruments if you don't want to hear their crappy instrument T.
Oh, okay. So you can turn off their instruments.
You turn off the sound, the instrument sound in general.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like a slider for like rather than for background music.
Yeah, I think the only problem is the trumpet one. The horn.
Vuvuzela, yeah.
Yeah.
I can deal with the flute. Like horrible playing on the flute is fine.
Yeah.
But when it's the trumpet, it's like
Shut up! Oh my god. Are you 12 or something? Really annoying. God.
Yeah, Jexos also mentions that the bell on the highest pitch is horrible. That is true. When they're just smashing keys with the bell, it's like, I want to use that bell to crack your head open.
What are you doing, Lag?
Somebody's asking.
Yes.
He's asking about my headset. This is a Razer headset, so I just was following up with that. Okay, let's talk aetherized weapon skins.
I haven't seen them.
I love these skins. I want to point out.
I'll go find you a gallery, Naveen.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the steampunky-esque type weapons that we saw. Some of the rapier that everybody was super excited about was not included.
Thanks for saying esque.
Yep, you're welcome. I didn't want to get in trouble by saying steampunk because it's not technically steampunk.
It's not steampunk.
It's close though.
No.
But it's got gears and steam and cogs, so it's and tubes.
I've sent you the pictures, Naveen.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll put the pictures in Twitch as well.
But I like I like a lot of the skins. I own the hammer myself right now. But that kind of segues into my comment about the updates to Black Lion chests, and I'd like to for those of you who are not sure how it works, I'd like to talk to you about the mechanic behind that. What ANET did was they replaced Black Lion keys in the chests. Those which used to be a common occurrence are now a rare item. Getting a Black Lion key out of a Black Lion chest is now rare. In place of the Black Lion key, you now get a Black Lion weapon ticket scrap. If you collect 10 weapon ticket scraps, you can turn them into a Black Lion weapon claim ticket. Or, alternatively, you can get a claim ticket directly out of the chest. You can trade in these claim tickets for an item. Kaysee, you have a question.
Yes, hand up. Teacher,
Yes.
Can you put in the claim ticket for any weapon that the Black Lion people...
Right now, it's only for aetherized weapons.
Mm.
They are saying that this is how they're doing RNG chest items and stuff going forward.
Oh, okay.
So you can hang on to these tickets now, and if you don't like the aetherized weapons, when the next thing comes out, you can use them for that.
Yeah.
You can still get the weapon skins as a drop from the higher level trials. They will drop just the skins. But the key is, when you get the ticket, you can trade the ticket in for a weapon skin, and then sell that weapon skin if you like.
Okay.
So, things are tradable now. The tickets themselves are not tradable, but the item skins, once you trade in the ticket, are. After this living story ends, the price for aetherized weapon tickets are going to go up to 5 claim tickets as opposed to 1. My thoughts are that's probably going to be, my personal thoughts, is that's going to be the business model. Okay? Whatever item comes out that patch is going to be 1 ticket. And then when it goes away, then it's 5 for all the previous ones. But with this process, you can still get stuff 3 years down the road to get something that came out 3 years ago, if you want. Minus things like the Jade weapon things and things like that. But
also,
I will
it's
tell
a way of rewarding people who spend. It's a way of rewarding people who spend money in their store in sense of in-game. You know, like you spend lots of money getting a skin, so if you don't want it, you can sell it and make a lot of money.
Right, and that's the thing. Holding on to your skins, if you have a skin that you want for something that's highly desirable, you're going to go out and say greatsword because duh. But there are a lot of skins that have cooler effects this go around. The hammer looks awesome. The scepter looks like a sonic screwdriver. The staff looks like a Tesla coil on top of a stick. Pretty cool stuff. When it goes
My
up
favorite
to
is the pistol.
Yeah, the pistol looks great too. When it goes up to 5 tickets, if you have those skins, the prices on those are probably going to go up because they're going to be harder to get. So it may be worth hanging on to them, or hanging on to them because you want to get whatever's coming next and you don't want to have to try to open more boxes. I don't have a statistic for you for how often a scrap drops from a chest, but in my personal instance, in about every 5 Black Lion chests opened, I got at least 1 weapon scrap. So, let's say that that's the thing. Let's say it's a 1 in 5 chance. You buy 25 keys, you're at, you're going to be at 5 tickets. So you got to figure it out. I mean, I've opened 2 chests in a row and got 2 scraps. But it seems about 1 in 5.
It's not too bad.
But it rewards your failure, in a sense.
Yeah.
And what they said was they didn't want to, the reasoning behind this is they didn't want to have you just getting keys and not getting what you wanted, and then just getting an attempt again to not get what you want. And most of the time when people are buying Black Lion chests, they're going for the skins. So that's why they made the change in this model to the scrap ticket system. Good call, would have been great at launch of game.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Yep.
But it's a step in the right direction. It's moving in the way. I mean, it doesn't eliminate RNG, but it rewards people who fail at it and people who are good at it, and it allows you to sell what you get to make your money back. I mean,
Better late than never.
Yeah, I mean, if you open 5 chests and get a gold ticket, you could then turn that into a weapon skin and maybe 2 months down the road sell that weapon skin for 200 gold, and now you're back in the black. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah. So Naveen, which weapon do you like of the authorized?
I am
weapon?
not impressed.
Oh.
Have you? The thing is, does Dolphy's thing show the animations?
Oh, if there are animations, then
They
I might
all
be
are
impressed.
animated. They're all
Yeah,
animated.
they're all animated.
Oh, okay. Well, if they're animated, I might be impressed.
We can check them in game afterwards.
Yeah.
They do a lot of steaming and a lot of electrical animations.
Oh, okay. I like Steam.
I think someone either in guild chat or map chat looked at the authorized axe and said it looks a lot like the weapon from Bioshock Infinite.
Yes,
Oh.
the skyhook. It does look a lot like the skyhook.
I would get that if I could latch onto things and zoom around.
It looks messy. That's what I say. If you
It
hit
looks
somebody with that, it would be a mess.
Oh, it was messy in the game as well.
Let's see. Do we have anything else worth mentioning? There were some updates to a bunch of traits to various classes. A couple of bug fixes. Yeah, traits. Just mostly traits. There's some bug fixes for a lot of stuff. Guardians are finally our symbols represent the actual size of the symbol on the ground. Finally. And it wouldn't scale up. It would scale up, but it wouldn't actually be the correct size. So that's good. Necromancers, they moved greater marks around, which kind of bothered some people. Rangers got a big change to their longbow. Now the 3 skill causes stealth, and the 2 skill, the rapid fire shot, applies vulnerability. Warriors now have access to torment as a skill, as a condition rather. All the warrior heals got a boost, and Rampage, the one kind of useless warrior elite, got a significant buff to a point of adding a lot of knockdowns and CC, so it might actually be a viable thing now.
There's someone that leaves a comment on the weapon skin gallery from the Delphi site.
Mhm.
They say Inet is starting to piss people off by pulling the rewards from chest-only thing. That is FTP strategy. The rare drops will sadly be more like ultra rare for me. Dude, seriously? Like, they have rents to pay. They have a living. Like, they need to make some kind of money somewhere. If you're not happy about that, I mean...
You don't have to have them.
Yeah, exactly. And if they're not account bound, they're going to be on the black trading post. And then you're going to be able to buy it there. So, stop
Evan
whining,
Nashblade
little
says
bitch.
you're welcome.
Evan
I'll take
Nashblade?
15%
Who's that?
of your money.
Hey, cost of living. We were just talking about that just now.
People feel very entitled in this game. Like, if they kind of feel, especially with this sort of stuff, I really feel like, yes, I know that you really want it, and I know that you like having new skins and stuff like that, but it is their money-making model, you know. People fail to realize that, yes, you can be upset, but the comments like starting to piss people off, you know. It's just wanting to whine because you particularly don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's okay not to like things, but you know, I don't like a lot of things that it does, but I accept it and I go, well, that is the game, and I enjoy it the way it is, and I'm not going to like everything that this game does. Only when they start, you know, trying to take money out of my bank account, I'll be a little bit angry.
Then yes.
Yeah, I mean, I admittedly, I can't. You can't count me as a true source because I have ridiculous luck with Black Lion chests.
He
And
does.
You do.
I've already,
Same.
out of 30 chests, I've got 3 claim tickets, the gold tickets. So that's 3 authorized weapon skins. I got an Abyss die. I got a whole bunch of crap. I got one of those Tome of Knowledges finally, so I can level up any character 1 level, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
It's insane how lucky you get. Like, I swear, if you sat the luck of people around you, like, that's just, I can't believe how lucky you are with those sort of things.
All I'm saying, guys, vote for Evan Ashblade.
He was probably the kid in class that didn't even have to study to pass his exams.
Yeah, like, or if he did study, he studied one thing and the whole test was around that.
Yeah, exactly. See his
Like-
face right now? That's exactly it. I've nailed it.
Yeah. Like, you guys know me so well.
In high school, yeah, that was me. I never studied. I did pay attention and participate in class.
Wow.
So, that's something.
Yeah, so we'll just have to get used to it, Kaysee. Me and you, we're regular players. He's
Hey,
just
you
a
know
special
what?
kid.
I tried to convince Kaysee to come to the Evan side.
Ugh,
I
whatever.
offered her an aetherized weapon skin of her choosing.
You think she's a sellout?
Hey, I had people sell out to me earlier today.
Yeah, but she's not.
I know.
I don't care about the other
I'm
people.
me. I'm in love with Kiel. Do you think some weapon?
She would marry the chick, dude. Didn't you not hear before?
I heard her. Saying.
I was very, I have to admit, I was very flattered by the offer. Like, Lag wants to be with me. He wants me to be on his side. That's fantastic.
No,
But,
Lag wants to win. He'd do whatever to
Lag
win.
knows how to win.
It's not because he wants you there. He probably
It's
wants
a-
everyone there.
It's a pirate election, guys. Bribery is
Oh
allowed.
God, I hate
That's-
politics. Do you see what it's doing? Do you see?
it does
Do you guys?
to us.
I secured 100 votes for Evan Nash played this morning. A little bit of bribery. So,
Oh my god.
What I don't like about this is that, there are people who don't really understand politics also, and they will fight. It's happened in the past with real life politics where our guild member fought over whatever, when it was like Obama and all that. And me and Kaysee were just sitting in the background going like, okay, please don't fight. And now it's doing this, but with Guild Wars 2 players. I hate it. I just, blah, 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 blah. It could be pirate politics. It could be any kind of politics. They shouldn't have brought politics into the game. What
I
next?
feel like
They're gonna start their religion?
there's so many religions in the game. What are you talking about? There's like 8.
Yeah, but there's no religious war. Right now, the politics that we're living in the game, it's creating a war between two groups, So anyways.
There's a good side to that as well. I mean, if you want to get people involved, the easiest thing to do is politics.
Yeah, I
Easiest
understand.
thing to get players involved. And I'm with you. I think it's very comfortable sometimes what
there's a
goes on
lot
between
of
people.
Kids who don't understand politics
true.
that play
A lot
the
of kids.
game.
But it doesn't. And I'd like to point out what's being some of the stuff that's being said. I mean, it's a game, though. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you understand politics or not. It's you pick a side, you vote for it, you run around, you go do events, you get tokens, throw them in whichever side you think's cool. I think Evan Nashblade looks cooler because he's a Char, or I think Ellen Kiel has that really cool, really kind of weird haircut that she's got going on. Those stupid frumpy town clothes. I'm gonna throw it in for her. Or whatever.
Unfortunately, children don't know the boundaries of reality and seeing things sometimes. Sometimes they get really into it, and but luckily we seem to be very.
To live in reality.
What?
That's true. But but we're lucky we have a very mature fan base. I mean, if we had a very younger fan base, it would be a lot worse.
Yeah.
But we have a very mature fan base.
But already, like in map chat, and people have been reporting other people for calling them like bad names and threatening them, and just because they voted for one side, it's like, dude, you're creating a war. It's crazy.
On that note, I have to share a funny story. I'm going to move completely away from politics.
Oh, yay.
And draw us to a funny story.
Okay.
Basically, a group of in our guild, we went around and we went to a role-playing area and we did our own little role-playing thing. I'm not going to go into the details.
Oh, I have an image in a Reddit thread I have to post about why you should vote for Evan Nashblade.
But going away from politics, but moving away from politics. Anyway, so we did the role playing, and then it was just like a really fun event that we were doing, trying to like involve other people, and we involved one other girl, and I was basically playing the bad person in this role play. I was being like the evil person. And so I accused her and I told her I'd be coming for her. And she'd be next and I was coming for her. And so I got, so I sent like her messages just to be really creepy, just to play along because we were just being giggly. And I said, "You're that Norn standing next to you can't save you." And like she was talking to the Seraph in the role playing area, saying that some woman accused me, and she said I'm going to be next. And I said the Seraph can't stop me. And then I tried to whisper her, saying thank you for being a part of our role play.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she was offline. And I thought, oh, she must have set her status to invisible. So I didn't say anything. But then I mentioned it in Raycall chat, and someone's like, oh no, I can whisper her. And I realized
she ignored you.
she had blocked me. And I'm like, oh my god, if she had thought it was serious, the creepy stuff I had sent her, I'm coming for you next. And like this was sent in mail.
Uh-oh.
And like, I was like, oh no,
You're gonna get reported.
Yeah, but more it was like I was worried it was a younger player and I had creeped them out and they were really like worried about it or something like that. So I got someone to whisper her saying, I'm really sorry, and she unblocked me. And I said, look, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to, like, creep you out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, no, you didn't creep me out. I just wanted you to stop sending me mail because you're filling up my mailbox. I'm like, oops. But it was, we'll put the link in the description of, like, the pictures of what we were role-playing and stuff like that. But it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And,
There is pictures in the Twitch chat right now, and there's a video soon to come.
A video?
Oh yeah, I videoed the whole thing. So you'll get to see what sick levels Kaysee will stoop to try to get support for Ellen Kiel.
Kaysee, you're naked.
With a whip.
In my defense, it started out with, how can we went there and like who was it? I think it was Brom from the show. It's like, let's do something creepy. Everyone just kneel at the wall or something like that.
It was memory burn. Let's not drag Brahms into this.
Poor Brahms is like, I wasn't part of this. And then someone was representing Nashblade, and it's very fun. It was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Anyway, so there's a couple more things before we ended because I jumped around, I got distracted. Did you guys see anything about the Charrmour protest?
No.
Where the Char were protesting the awful armor skins? It's the Char armor protest. Technically.
Nope.
No.
There was a bunch. I think it was. What was it? On Pekin Square. They protested. They all stood around the fountain in Lion's Arch, naked, dancing, and this was all to promote how Char have awful armor skins. And eventually, they all did sort of like our protest style video and ran up and suicide jumped off the top in the middle of Lion's Arch on the fountain. They stood there for a day.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post a link to that. That's the Char armor. There was a subsect of that called For the Fashion Legion on Tarnished Coast, which was the same thing. Also, I'll post that as well. All protests about how Char have awful looking armor and they want to get it fixed. And the clipping issues and all of that. So...
The first thing I think about when you say this is I feel sorry for the person who designed the Char armor skins. That's all I think about.
Poor dude.
But
he got fired.
True, though. They don't have the flavor that other people have. Other races have.
Mm-hmm.
And the last kind of thing I wanted to mention was something that's kind of bothered me, as I just noticed that the Guild Wars 2 wiki now has an app that's formulated better for use on a mobile phone, so I downloaded that today. I was just browsing through looking at stuff, and I came across personality. And oh my god, guys, let's just talk for a second about how useless that mechanic is. The charming, ferocious, or dignity thing that you choose at the start of your game. You make your decisions throughout the game, and how it does nothing. 0 things does this mechanic do in the game.
We're still hoping for something.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. I think they'll probably do something in the end. Something simple like give you an aura or something like that, like a ferocious aura.
Now, I'd like to point out a lovely person named Origami on Reddit came up with what I think is the perfect solution for this, and says, plain and simple, Charisma, nobility, aggression would be much more interesting if it affected the way your character composed themselves in some way. And so it gives them and says, character stance in and out of combat. Charismatic characters may lean on a staff less or swing their arms around a bit, something to show them loosening up before combat. A noble character might stand perfectly straight, their movements may be more reserved, and an aggressive character in combat may be more hunched over or simply more lower to the ground than others. Character idle animations. Charismatic characters may smile and be more lively, swinging arms or waving at an NPC when it comes within X range. Noble characters would adjust and examine their armor or simply put their hands on their hips, while an aggressive character may survey the area, squinting or raising a hand to get a better survey of an area. Animations when conversing with an NPC. Charismatic characters would be animated, making opening gestures and maintaining open posture. A noble character could be stoic or conservative, while an aggressive character would be slightly more dismissive, perhaps crossing their arms or keeping their body language closed. The thing is, while they do have an appeal to the roleplay side of the character, since the rest of the game is relatively RP weak, fleshing out the systems they have in place may be easier than adding new emotes and stuff. But I guess this would present its own issues as well. It should also be noted that I know some of these may not be entirely practical, and it should go for lore accuracy and such first, before simply being silly about it, lest we end up with disconnected characters and actions. For the record, I'm in no way saying this would be easy. I'm just saying it would give the game some nice little details that may appeal to some people, like me, who are interested in the RP side of the game. Too long did charisma, nobility, aggression does nothing, but it should.
Sort of like Fable. Know the game Fable?
Yep.
Either you choose good or bad or evil. You know, the more evil you are, the more evil you look.
Yep.
That would be
Same
great.
thing with Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, I didn't play that. Wow,
KOTOR.
wow, wow.
I think dialogue. Again, this would tie into getting your voice actors back. But like we talked last week about the cues when you get boons or conditions, things like that. I think it would be cool.
No, not my pet.
If it would be like, you bastard, like when your pet dies, you're ferocious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like change the voice cues, bring in your actors, record just a small set of voice cues that change for ferocious, dignity, or charming. And there's 10 different variations of personality.
Thanks for healing me. I can feel Wolf's little tail wagging in my heart.
Oh my god, I can't believe you said that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But I
annoying.
feel like that wouldn't be, I feel, as difficult as changing the animations in the game. We already have the lip flap, which doesn't change with what you're saying. So bring in your animators, have them record 10 different sounds for, whatever different things that would happen for each of the different personality types for all the races and genders, and then give us something. Make this useful, or pull it out entirely. Give me some other question for my personal story instead of that, because it doesn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Do you remember at the start, the big thing that they were saying was like, massive thing that I remember they said about personalities, like, if you want to end a conversation by smacking someone in the face, you can do that. Has anyone smacked anyone in the face? Yeah?
No, I clicked the little X button. It says, like, whatever stupid dialogue that I'm going to say no matter what.
Nope.
But yeah.
Well, that was a lull.
It's just
I
something
was just
that's
thinking about smacking Logan's butt. That would be great.
Get him, boy. I'm pretty sure that ties into some sort of, I don't know, it's like, something like that. Go get him, Logan.
You go get him. He's like, I'll have you arrested. Is that a promise?
And my last little bit, there was a Q&A done with Rhys Osby about the Lions Art's Captain's Council. So if you would like to know more about the Captain's Council, how it operates, the Commodore, and all that, She has a nice Q&A. It's up on their main website, so you can check that out.
Yay.
Oh, and the last thing, sorry, I've been saying the last thing like 6 times. If you guys remember back when ArenaNet actually had the old blog before they had the official Guild Wars 2 website, they used to be able to read all those cool lore stories.
Yeah.
And like now, if you can't find them anymore because those old websites are gone entirely, they do still exist. Finding them is a little bit tricky. Let's see if I can. Yeah, but I'm trying to see if I found them very easily from the mobile app. It was a piece of cake. There was like a section for it, and I was like, oh, done. Found it. But I think it's under, yes, because it was just easier to find on my phone, I guess. But under the lore section of the wiki, under overview, there's a section called stories and texts, and that has all of the old lore blogs that, you know, like all about Mr. Sparkles and about the Quaggins and the Hylic and all that stuff. It's all captured there if you missed any of that or want to go back to it.
Sweet. Thanks.
So, yeah. I think that's all I've got, unless you guys have anything else that you want to mention or talk about today.
No.
No, Naveen, feeling good? Kaysee, we're good? Alright, so for Chronicles of Tyria podcast episode number 55, I'm now sober and also lagywn.
I'm Kaysee. I'm forgetful, and I'm Kaysee.
And I'm just... I'm Naveen. Whatever.
I'm just hanging here.
And we'll see you next time.